Hey, my name's Sam, and I'm a Hawktail player. And what we do is we go out into the world and we find nonfiction stories. What that means is that they're true and very real stories. We learn them so that we can share them with you guys. Has anyone in here ever ridden a bike? How about raced on a bike? Fun, right? Well, my uncle used to race bikes with his friends sometimes, and he told me a story about the craziest bike ride that he's ever been on. Do you want to hear it? Okay, well, I'm going to tell it from his point of view. When I was growing up, we didn't have phones or any of that technology to distract us. Instead, we would have to find other things to do, usually outside activities. Well, when I was a little boy, me and my friends used to love racing each other. We didn't do it often, but when we did, we would go all over the place racing each other. And the winner was always the coolest kid in town until there was another winner. After racing, we would all meet up at my friend John's house and hang out until it got too late to stay any longer. Well, one day, me and my best friend Brian made a bet with each other at the lunch table in front of everyone. He was trash talking me because he won the last race between us. So I bet him $50 that I could beat him. Oh yeah? Well, you're on, he said. This was in the middle of the week, like a Tuesday, and we planned the race for that Saturday night just before dark. Right after school on Tuesday, we started to tell all of our friends about the race so that they could come watch. There was this neighborhood right beside ours that no one lived in because it was just being built. That's where the race was going to take place. A brand new racetrack, somewhere that we haven't ridden before. I spent a whole week looking for the best bike that I could find. Everyone look for a bike with me? Finally, after 2 days of looking, I came across the coolest bike that anyone has ever seen. It was a red-hot Schwinn Stingray bicycle. It had long handlebars and big wheels, and the thing about riding on a Schwinn Stingray bicycle, you feel like you're flying. Trust me, I rode it all the way home that day. By the time Saturday came, I was ready. I showed up a little bit earlier to the neighborhood where the race was going to take place than anyone else, and I waited for them, preparing myself for the race. Only a few minutes passed when Brian pulled up in a bike that he just got too, followed by the rest of our friends. We talked for a few minutes about where we were racing to. The plan was to go up the street, turn to the right, go down a long stretch, turn right again, come back down, turn right one more time, and go straight to the finish line that was marked by 2 cones that we set up. John was the starter. It was a full circle. We lined up side by side with John in the middle, and Brian and I looked at each other and restated the bet for $50 that we made before. The race was starting when John counted down from 3. Can you guys count down from 3 with me? 3, 2, 1, go! John shouted at the top of his lungs, and immediately me and Brian started pedaling as fast as we can. Everybody pedal as fast as you can. We came up to the first turn, and I'm just now taking the lead, wind blowing in my face, but I can still see him out of the corner of my eye. Whoa! Brian zooms past me just before the next turn. At this point, I'm sweating. We're going so fast, and I'm having so much fun, but I really wanted to beat him. So I pushed my feet as hard into the pedals as I could and gave everything I got. We're going so fast, and I'm right on his tail as we make the last turn. Finally, the last stretch. The race is close, and I'm getting closer to him. I can see the finish line as I caught up to Brian, and I didn't win the race, but I didn't care. That was an experience that I had with my best friend that I'll never get to have again. It isn't always about whether you win or lose. It's about the enjoyment that you find and the memories and experiences you make by participating. What did you learn from this story?